Not a damn thing.
Plenty of stuff. I need to work you to
Not
the
a
bone until there's
damn thing.
nothing left of you.
The only thing you have to do today is check if you can fix your connection to the RP server thing. That is the
Yes,
only thing.
we should do that before we do the Steel Division stream today.
That would probably be a good idea, so we don't have to screw everyone out of another Rat RP session.
Mhm. What do we do if it doesn't work, though?
Well, then it'll be your fault, and I'll send a lot of people to your channel to yell at you.
Wait, that's brigading. You can't do that.
Actually, it's not brigading, because I'm not telling them to harass you, I'm just saying, go over here.
You've already insinuated it like 5 minutes ago. I may have dug myself a hole, and I can't quite get out.
Insinuations are not proof, Kyle, because that's you reading into an innocent comment.
What's that down there? Oh, look, it's Arch in the hole. Maybe it puts the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again. I like this.
Poor Kyle is drunk and confused.
This is funny.
Double the length RP tomorrow, asks the chat. I think that would be a little tiresome.
Yeah, I have work. Actually, wait. No, after the RP. Yeah, we have our stream. Yeah, no, it's our stream. That bleeds into my channel. F you, chat. No.
That is work.
I do have work after. It's going to be a busy month for me. And then next month. And then I might have a lot more free time all of a sudden. Which will be good for some people and bad for others.
Well, when Kyle no longer has a job, that'll be good for someone, I do suppose.
The pleasantness of being self-employed and be like, I wonder if they're going to renew that contract. Check where the money going to come from. Gotta check the couch. I don't have a couch, but if I did, I would.
On the bright side, there are many, many, many benefits to be had from all of this. Probably. Maybe. Potentially. Now, let us get on to today's nonsense then, shall we? I do need to log into the Streamlabs one again too, and that means I'll have to dig my phone up from beneath the pile of snacks and trash that somehow always magically manifests on my desks right about this
I
time.
hate that too. It's just weird. Like
It's weird.
Like,
I don't understand how it happens.
It was clean the other day.
And suddenly now it's covered in like crisps packages, chocolate, empty cola boxes. Like, who does this?
Jesus Christ. You have
Well,
a lot of snacks.
I'm sure I'll discover its whereabouts eventually. Unless I think I left it somewhere. Kyle, entertain the chat for a moment.
That's fine. Crap. Chat, what are you wearing? They're like, we're wearing clothing. What kind of clothing? Yeah, did you know there's a tab to look at the publishers on Steam? This is extremely useful for an unspecified reason I can't talk about. Let's see. Look. How long is it going to take him, you think? How long, you think, chat? Can I get past the loading screen? My eardrums.
Yes, I had a sneaking suspicion, having changed my pants recently, that it might still be lying in the pants, getting ready
I
to
couldn't
hit
get past
the
loading
washing
screen.
machine.
See, I know how to summon friends. Anytime you want to summon a friend, you just start a game, and then they'll come back. It's magic, chat, I tell you. Never sit around and wait for somebody. Like, somebody's like, I'm gonna be there in 15 minutes. You start a game, and it's like, wow, you're here already? And it's like, yeah. I don't know, I just sort of teleported. It's like, that's right. I understand how this works.
I don't know about that. Right, so, the first topic of today, you remember probably a little while ago where everyone was like, oh, they're renaming Slay 1 because there was a rumor going around. Disney was like, oh, no, we're not doing that. God, no, we'd never. And honestly, at the time, I completely ignored it because it sounded like something they wouldn't actually do. It sounded stupid. Like, they're not gonna do that. That's dumb. Of course they're not.
They can't be that
And
stupid.
a month later, Disney demonstrates that no, they're actually that stupid. It's fine.
See,
It's
the
okay.
drama blew over and it didn't amount to literally anything. Yet they're like, let's do that. Let's start changing the names of things. Like, I saw a meme the other day from, like, the thing is, Disney's one of these companies that, like, they're a terrible company, but, like, it could be worse. But another dumb thing they did, like, right? So, if you look at the movies, right, the new Disney movies, every single one of the movies kills off a main character. Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, every single one of them. It's like they killed and supplanted them with trash planks. In the same vein that they've sucked the soul out of that, they're sucking the soul out of everything else. I mean, the Mandalorian TV show is really dumb. It exemplifies the issue with the Stormtrooper problem, like, of just treating them like cannon fodder in a very uninteresting way. And it does a lot of other stupid things where characters have ridiculous plot armor in the form of the Mandalorian armor, which is impervious to heavy weapons fire, but don't worry about that. Details. Ah, Mandalorian. What a terrible show.
The Mandalorian was not particularly good, no. It really was
So
not.
many, like, people, like, they're so desperate, and I don't even blame Star Wars fans, okay? Like, they're desperate for content. They're like, everything we have is shit, and they do. They like, it actually sucks for them. Like, they don't have any alternative. Everything they love about their own IP is self-destructing before their very eyes, and they cling to what little good there is, even if it's mediocre or subpar, because they have literally no other choice. And it sucks. It sucks for them. Hopefully that is eventually going to end. But I don't think it will. If anything, the Visions trailer has proven to me that Star Wars is not ready for good change or positive change. They're ready to continue
Visions?
degradation.
I'm gonna have to look at that. I'll probably do like videos on that, honestly, because some of it looks good.
Most
Some
of it
looks incredibly awful.
looks like shit.
The Lightsaber Umbrella is one of the dumbest things I think I have ever actually seen. Like, I can't think of something stupider than the Lightsaber Umbrella.
That's so dumb because it's like, okay, those fucking, I forget what those crystals are called. Kyber crystals are kind of rare and they're kind of valuable. And they're like,
rare.
I wasted them on a stupid umbrella. Like, what? Shut the
I
fuck
made an
up.
umbrella out of them so I could deflect laser bolts easier.
Like, that's dumb. What are you going to do with the center of the umbrella? The part that isn't protected? Like, shut the fuck up.
Well, that's made out of Mandalorian Beskar or something, so that's immune to it too, you see.
Of course. Now, there are steels and metals that are resistant to that stuff in the universe and have been for a very long time. But it's just one of those things at that point where, like, why don't you just make, like, some armor plates and wear those instead?
Why don't you just make a shield? Why don't you just go to Naboo and steal a Gungan shield at that point? That reflects laser bolts too.
Yeah, those aren't half bad. I'm surprised no other society really uses them. You know, as much as we give the Gungans crap, their shields, pretty decent. It can deflect, was that E11? No, what's the B1 battle droid gun? I can't remember off the top of my head. Chat, use your power, your
It's
superior
a thing
intellect.
that fires red sticks. That's all you need to know.
It's a small arms
But-
weapon.
Boba Fett, Slave 1, is now renamed, what was it, Fire Spray? Yes, Fire Spray, that's it. So you had a pretty cool name.
Slave 1.
Sounds nasty, gnarly, and definitely a name that a bounty hunter might put on his name. His ship. It's like, it's a little bit of personality, but it's also a little bit neutral. It's Slave 1. Yeah, cool. Now it's much teenage edge. Fire Spray. What, is it a fucking transformer now?
Fire spray sounds like a dragon that's, like, either fucking has liquid diarrhea, like, it just sprays out, like, pfft. Like, it just sounds gross, Nikki. Like, I don't want it. I want my decrepit Slave 1 back.
Fire Spray. God, it's a bad name too.
It's a
That's the
terrible
worst
name.
part.
Like, that is actually a terrible name. Like, no, we're not moving on. This is, now we have to double down on this. Okay? Fucking fire spray. Like, what kind of emotions that emit? Like, what is it? What do you feel when you think of that name? Like, fire spray. Like, I think like a little squirt bottle. It's like, like, what the fuck? Like, there's 1,000 other cool names they could have potentially come up with. And they choose something so stupid. Like, it's incredible.
And the worst part too is Fire Spray isn't even a name for the ship. Fire Spray is literally just the name of the ship type. So Boba Fett doesn't have Slave One anymore. He has a mass-produced thing. It's just a ship now. It's just a Fire Spray. It's like Han Solo's famous mass-produced thing.
Actually, his
It's not.
ship
It's
is
not the
famous.
Millennium Falcon. It's just what was it?
They're called Corellian freighters, but there aren't
Yes,
very many of them
it's not the
around.
Millennium Falcon. It's just a Corellian freighter now.
It's also pretty modified. But the thing is, Corellian freighters are actually pretty good. But they don't. I can't remember, chat, but I'm pretty sure Corellian freighters are like pretty rare nowadays in the Stork Wars universe. Like they were.
Do look awful, so I'm sure they are.
I mean, his is missing half of itself, but don't worry about it.
It's just another wonderful example of Star Wars going, hey, we've had cool things. How about we don't have cool things anymore? How about that? How about we make things a little bit more bland and
I mean, the
boring
ship is
instead?
still cool. It looks like a weird shoe thing, but like its name is super stupid now. Like instead of it being like, oh, cool, that's Slave One, I'm like, oh, that's the cringe ship. I forgot about that. It's like it got a dumb name.
It's got a dumb name. What does it mean? Oh, it's just the class of ship. Oh, so it's nothing special. It's just a boat in space. Yeah. Oh, I don't like it. It's dumb. It's stupid.
Yeah. It's silly willy. But it's still Slave One in the other movie, so fuck you.
Screw you. All right. Let's go through a couple of the super chats before moving on to our next topic. I didn't do the thing I usually do where I'm like, well, actually, what we're going to talk about today, because this way I keep chat on its toes.
I mean, if you just have the stream up, I have them all in chronological order.
Well, chronological order, cause you think I put them up there in chronological order? I just wrote shit.
I like to pretend.
Nathan Hildeman, double RP means at least 5 dinners for death. I think he means 6 dinners, because he's crammed in 3 dinners in one sitting last time.
That's incredible.
Also, as a general service announcement here, for today, do not send in Streamlabs Superchats. Normally, I am all for that, of course, because 100% of the profits goes to moi. But it's being derpy today. I put in the usual code, because I've all of this got with double authentication after the whole hacking nonsense. And I put in the code once, and it told me, oh, you've tried it too many times. You're locked out for a couple of hours. Okay.
Good.
Right.
Fuck you.
So the Streamlabs thing is buggeroony right now.
That's cancer.
Just so everyone's aware of that. Shunkatsu says, hi, Transfuta NTR Minotaurs. Hi, Keebs. Get some rice.
Like, you're gonna have a hard time remembering these things, you little rice patty boy. Like, you're gonna start forgetting.
I don't know. Transfuta NTR, that's a pretty simple string of letters and words.
Adding stuff. But this, he forgot the anti-vax part and cap. Like, you're forgetting half of it. Like, he can't even remember anymore.
Anti-vax and cap cat trap? I mean,
don't remember.
That's going to be a bit of a mouthful.
It is already a mouthful.
Anti-vax and cap See, no, anti-vax and cap cat trap. Like, that's too many letters that sound vaguely similar after one another.
It kind of hurts to say, doesn't it?
Yes, you need to really concentrate.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that one's difficult. Mark Ashamed, look at James Crawley's short 40k Vile Vinery art. Megos GW WoWs.
Oh, he was talking about disco. Yeah, I'm sure that'll go real well over with disco.
That was a combination of words that I don't know if have any relations to one another. Yeah, so when I enter that into Google or DuckDuckGo, I get Roblox. So.
Roblox.
Yep. Literally.
When are we gonna stream Roblox, Arch? We gotta do it on the
I
Popular
heard
Kids.
it's infested by a Ku Klux Klan, so probably not anytime soon, frankly. Marked ashamed. No, that was the one I. Ashamed. Ashamed? 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 Ah, God damn it. English. Mike Omac, there better be Rat RP, have Disco or Ketchup do it. IDC, which is needed. Kibbs seems unironically uncaring about it. Anyways, Kibbs is a vile and uncaring soul.
The thing is, if it doesn't happen tomorrow, what are you gonna do? You gonna cry, chat? You gonna cry like a little baby? Like, yes. Look at him. Already tearing up.
And that is why you should abuse him frequently.
Chat deserves to be punished. We should punish them in more ways.
Frequently. Florian Ice Schatten, Kyle being mighty sus again. Hashtag breed kids.
No. They're saying the bad words.
The word sus triggers you.
Arch thinks he's funny.
I know I'm funny.
He's like, I am dough.
Shunkatsu, Disney needs to calm down and eat rice stew. I don't know where the rice has come from, but I'm feeling this is some new Kyle meme. No objection, so yes then. Samuel Eddy, greetings and salutation Arch and Kibbs. Punctuation marks. I played some Age of Empires 4 closed beta and I enjoyed it. The problem that I had with it's that half of my army sounds like women. Well, that just sounds like a modern day diverse audience accruing game to me. I don't see a problem. I only see benefits, in fact. Think of all the new audiences it will attract. That's good, though, to hear that it's not a complete train wreck. Marked ashamed, Disney Star Wars is why I just play Empire at War mods like Thrawn's Revenge. It might be the only refuge.
Thrawn's Revenge is pretty good.
Apalapagui, starting next week, I'll be able to watch the stream instead of throwing money and running away. Yay. Hope you all have a good day. Good. You'll be able to see your money be sent to good use. Yes. Marked ashamed again. It was a short on YouTube. James Crowley did a rap on GW treatment of their fans. A rap. Rap makes me sad, though. Most rap makes me sad.
Good. Good.
Mr. George Matthew. Charmander used fire spray. It was not very effective. That's true. It is a Pokemon name, isn't it? Nathan Hildeman found a guy who sells some good recasts and wanted to get into all editions of Warhammer. What's the best edition balance-wise? Fantasy Warhammer? Fantasy Warhammer balance. I don't know if those words go together. I played Skaven. I never cared about the balance because I could always just win anyways, honestly.
I use cheat codes. He does.
Pretty much.
Can't trust him. Cheaty little rat.
I'd probably say 4th, like around about 4th edition, probably. Because there was some good stuff there. And I loved the art style back then. 4th edition Skaven had an absolutely amazing book. Yes. Yes, go with 4th edition. That sounds lovely. Now then, shall we move on to the next topic? Kyle, this is one of your choosing. Quake! Quake getting a patch. Why does Quake get a patch, Kyle? Why?
When does any big company ever patch anything for any reason? Unless it's for like a PR stunt for something. Like Quake got a patch the other day, and I actually played a little bit, and it actually improves the game and makes it run a little bit better, and I haven't played it much more beyond that. The general response seems pretty positive. I was just checking because I haven't checked it since yesterday. But it got a patch, which makes it look a little bit better and run much more optimal in modern resolutions, which is kind of nice. So if you already own Quake, that was a free update, by the way. It's not a remaster technically, because you can still, if you own Quake and you buy Quake, you can still run the old original versions as well. But you can also launch the new version, and it was completely free update, which is actually really cool. I actually like that because I didn't have to pay for it, and I could play Quake again, and it was like kind of interesting to see it again, but in a much different sort of light and be able to see the pixels more clearly. Because if anyone remembers the old Quake, like, don't remember how the 3D, like how old 3D engines work, but like things look very pixely, even though they have pixely textures already. Like they're still pixel art, you know, low res art, so to speak, but it's actually not half bad. Also includes an expansion and a new expansion made in 2021. I only played the first chapter. Actually, no, I think I'm on like the 6th level in the first chapter. I haven't gotten very far yet.
But that is the question. Why do they patch things? Probably because they're thinking of doing something more with Quake, which would be nice, because the only Quake thing ongoing right now is the Champions thing.
And that's just not that good in my opinion. Like it isn't like, I don't know. I much prefer the Quake Arena, like how that felt. Quake 3 Arena, that was good. But if they're gonna do another Quake and they're gonna do it like in the main Quake line, like if they want to just do like a reboot from like Quake 1 and then go to 2, like 2 would be really cool if they rebooted from 2, because I like Quake 2 more, and I liked Quake 4, where you're like doing the little invasion on the Strogg homeworld thing, and it's got like this little story to it. I thought that was kind of super cool. Like, I really liked that game. Quake Wars wasn't half bad either.
Quake Wars was a thing. A weird thing.
It was a cool idea and concept, but my biggest problem I had with it was just, like, number one, my internet didn't exist back then, and number two, like, my computer couldn't run it that well. Like, it looked cool. It looked like Battlefield.
Yes,
well,
it was Battlefield, but with Quake. It had some interesting ideas. Like, I didn't mind Quake War. It was cool, and it did have a lot of interesting ideas, but like it wasn't really all that well executed. Like, Quake hasn't had like a truly solid title in a very long time now. I wouldn't mind some more Quake. I do hope that if they're going to go back to it, though, make an old-school competitive arena-style shooter first, and then maybe actually give Quake Wars another look, because I think it worked very well in the Battlefield-style formula. It just needed a bit more of an understanding of what made Battlefield, I think. Because right now, too, Battlefield, well, we'll get to see with the next Battlefield. I'm saying Battlefield far too often, but the upcoming one, we'll get to see if they have realized what makes their games good and not Call of Duty. Because if they do know, then cool. If they don't, market might be wide open.
I do hope they focus on the single player. Like, if they, like, I wouldn't mind if it was just on, like, if they want to do a Quake reboot, like, reboot the franchise a little bit, like, that'd be cool with me. As long as they do it right. And considering they did pretty decent with Doom 2016, I wasn't super big on Eternal, but I think they have the competence and the team that they could definitely pull off rebooting Quake, because Bethesda and Microsoft are going to be probably the ones behind that if I had to guess, because they're one and the same now.
We shall hope. I would not mind some more good shooters. And as a little bit of an aside, Kyle, which game is getting a anniversary edition?
Shut the fuck up. I hate you. I hated him because he beat me to getting this article when we were article hunting last night. He's like, I know what's getting an anniversary edition. I'm like, shut up. I know what it is. I just need to find the link. And you didn't even have to elaborate. Like, I knew already what the hell he was talking about. Because what could it possibly be, chat? Like, you're staring at it right now.
Yep.
Another...
The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Anniversary Edition. Skyrim is gonna get sold again, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and the reason why they did this is the same reason why they did Mass Effect, the reboot for that, is because they're re-releasing it on modern consoles. It's an easy way, an excuse to be like, look, buy it again, but it's slightly polished up compared to the previous version. But they're going to make a killing from that, like they did with the Mass Effect re-release. Like, I'm pretty sure that sold, like, in terms of, like, cost to develop, I'm pretty sure that made them a fucking killing. Because it's not like they actually had to remake the game. All they did is touch it up a bit and then re-release it, and bam, money flows.
I mean, this Anniversary Edition is going to have nothing in it that you couldn't add to base Skyrim with a bloody mod, I tell you. Nothing. And yet they're going to sell it. It's going to sell like mad. It's going to be free money streaming into their coffers again. And you can't even argue against it. It's like, okay, what was it that guy said? Like, if you want us to stop re-releasing Skyrim, stop buying it.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if that was a joke.
Which is a very good argument.
If that was what Todd Howard actually said, that's kind of funny. But the thing is, like,
I mean, that's a Chad response. Like,
yeah.
okay, just stop buying it then. Like, no, don't want to.
Like, the thing is, if people want it and there's a demand for it, whatever. I think everyone has a right to buy that game if they want to. I personally am not going to, because I've already played Skyrim. I didn't really care for it that much, and I'm just kind of done with it. I'm moved on. It's not, I don't want to do it. I don't want to play it again.
I really enjoyed Skyrim the first time around. Like, I had a lot of fun with it. There was a lot of cool shit. But the problem is it is a highly scripted world. So once you played it once, the magic disappears awfully quickly, and you are left with what swiftly becomes apparent is a fairly dead and empty world without all that much in it, really.
It was the modders that carried it. Like, I saw this really cool mod that sort of turns it into, like, Bannerlord with, like, these little Legion groups going around, like Civil War. And there's always, like, mods still coming out for this stuff, which is kind of interesting. But, like, I'm probably never going to revisit it again unless we do, like, a co-op stream of it, because it's got that multiplayer campaign mod.
I tried playing it a bit again not too long ago, and it just really struck me how soulless it was. It struck me how much of just a game it was, kind of. And that sounds like a really weird critique, but there are some games that can just kind of grab you by the balls and drag you into the world. And Skyrim was that for me my first playthrough. And so when I was playing it again, I was just like, wow, has it always been this dead and blatantly a game? Huh? Yeah, it had.
I like that quote from Lazy Badger: "An ocean with the depth of a puddle."
That's pretty accurate, yeah.
That describes most Bethesda RPGs in a nutshell.
It was pretty cool, though.
Mods make it deep, though.
Right. Reverend Norse is clearly wanting to do some super chats again, so let's do another few. Shunkatsu, I'm just hungry for some rice. Anti-vax, ANCAP, Antifa, cat trap. See, the Antifa breaks it up a little bit, but I feel like it loses some of its snap with that in there.
Yeah, it's getting too long.
Anti-vax, ANCAP, cat trap has more of a to it, you know?
Yeah. I hate it, but yeah.
Sujad, isn't it fantastic how there's more support for an ancient game like Quake than there is for modern feces? Have you tried Splitgate yet? I have not, because it sounds like one of those popular things, and I'm way too hipster to be like, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, I don't like jumping on fad trains. Like, I remember Arch and I talked about that a couple months back when there was like that, like a lot of fad games are coming out and trending, and we're like, nah, like, sure they can get like clicks and stuff, but if you're not having fun, like, you're not going to produce your best content.
I have heard it's very good, so for everyone who's enjoying it, that's fantastic. For me, I was arena shooters. I like my arena shooters fairly simple, honestly. Just get gun, point the enemy, pew pew. Adding in the portal thing sounds really cool, and yet I'm also like, I'm too old and slow to do that.
You're not that slow. Remember you were pretty good at killing the shark on Raft yesterday's stream.
Too old and slow.
You're not that slow. That's a shitty excuse.
But it is an excuse. Reverend Norse for about $100. Thank you very much. That is incredibly generous of you. Art, two things. One, if you haven't already read Kill a Shark in Another Word. Two, will we ever again be able to watch your playthroughs in the Arch channel? I miss them so much. I used to rewatch the Mordheim Skaven campaign like once every 2 or 3 weeks. Please restore them. That doesn't sound healthy.
That doesn't sound healthy. You should restore your content, even if you do it like unlisted. Like if you want help, we'll set up like a Google Drive of like document, and then just like post it, and then like I could organize it for you. Even there's only so many Let's Plays you're doing, and you're not doing any new ones on your old channel. It would not be that hard to set up.
I'll probably roll out some of them on the whole Patreon subscribe star systems and stuff like that eventually.
Just post
Just
them
to have
unlisted links there to the playlist, and then yeah.
Basically. That'll probably be how it'll be. Now, let's do the first topic, but that you missed because you jumped right to Boba Fett, you little...
I opened them in order of when they were posted.
Me. And that is, of course, the whole World of Warships thing, because this is a bit of a funny one, isn't it?
Yep.
Now,
funny, he says.
I'm sure all of you know what World of Warships probably is. It's the game of pixely boats. It has a pretty large fan community. It had a lot of fan content creators that were just making like video reviews, just streaming themselves playing the game, etc. It's one of those things that I do not understand the charm of at all. Like, how many times can you watch somebody play World of Warships before you kind of go like, seen it? But
see, you
clearly,
say that, but we stream World of Warships every Sunday after the RP, and you're there.
Yeah, and I don't understand why.
The turnout's incredible for the game for some reason. It's weird.
It's very popular. But I say had a large content fan community because their owners, Wargaming, has been doing everything in their power to alienate and screw them over constantly. Now, this started a few years ago where one little bit of a spicy content creator, and spicy in that he used bad words, and he used a curse word. Oh no! Like, okay, that's what spicy is now, is it?
Oh
How
my God.
fucking far down the puritanical hellhole have we come at this point? Like, sweet succulent baby Jesus. But yeah, there was a tank that Wargaming had released, and he was blatantly overpowered, hilariously so. And this guy made a video basically proving with the data that you couldn't penetrate this thing from the front. Like, it was auto bounds angle city. You couldn't kill it. It was so much better than everything in its tier, and a blatant cash grab. Because obviously Wargaming were like, here, look at this overpowered tank, only $29.90, or something like that. And this is something that they've been doing for a while. And they copyright claimed his video and yeeted his content creator credentials so that he wouldn't get access to any more pre-access stuff like preview stuff.
Jesus.
And that blew up into quite a thing. And they also made some very nasty messages on like their private little forums and stuff for content creators, and how it was there absolutely no tolerance for such meanie pushes on their content creators.
You got busted for doing something scummy, and then they do something even scummier. Jesus Christ.
They handled that incredibly poorly, and it got a lot of backlash. And it kind of demonstrated to a lot of people that the content creator program for World of Warships were essentially paid informants. Like, here, have this new shiny boat, make content for us, and also sign this contract. You know, the usual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It trucked on for quite a lot. Like, that was years ago now, but Wargame was getting shitter and shitter and shitter, and it had more community fallout. And now they're pushing more and more loot boxes in their game, and they're just ignoring all of their content creators. They're now just literally paid advertisement. They're just like, oh, monkeys, make video about our new boat.
Yeah, that's not a healthy thing to do. That is actually extremely bad.
And they had enough, and so a bunch of them have now left very publicly. One of them was the Mighty Jingles, an old grandpa that plays video games for a living. An adorable little dude, by the way. And he basically lit them up and posted a post, first on their Discord, and then publicly, where he said, like, this is no longer a content creator program. We have no input on anything. You're just using us. Screw you.
Yes, it's it's not a good thing. The only right thing to do would be for them to fire the people that made that decision, apologize publicly, and make amends with the community.
Mm-hmm. There was several others as well. I think it was Jingles, Flambass, Mr. Gibbons, and iChase. All basically made similar remarks and then told Wargaming to go fuck themselves. This has created a lot of waves. You see what I did there? I refuse. A lot of nautical motions, it's not the waves, it's the motion of the ocean and all that. In the community, unsurprisingly so, because this is, it's an attack on the company directly. Like, you just don't give a shit. And they've been using the content creator as their shield for the longest time as well. No, we totally do listen. Look, we have people in our Discord and stuff.
As they leave.
As they leave.
That is actually pretty dumb. That's pretty stupid.
Yep. And Wargaming tried to do a little bit of a thing that was like, oh, we're kind of sorry. We're very sorry that you interpreted us screwing you over in a negative fashion. And the Missouri is the ship of the problem. Missouri was introduced like 2 or 3 years ago, and it was incredibly good silver earning. Like, it got like 1 million plus on even an average game. And so Wargame removed it because it was completely messing up their balance. And they're like, we can't charge people for currency anymore. Kill it now. And they reintroduced it, but it's a part of a long line of drop boxes, of RNG loot boxes, which outrage people.
Yeah.
And you could ask to get it exchanged. Like, people were like, I want to hand in my Missouri, because my Missouri is the nerfed retard version. And they were going to let you, but you have to call their customer support center and ask to exchange it.
That's so dumb.
Yeah. Not very good. Not very good. Wargaming has dug themselves quite a hole here, and I don't see them digging their way out of it anyway soon, because I think this is a hole of their own making, and this is a long-term strategy for them as well. They used to be a lot more generous, and we've seen the same in the World of Tank community as well, where they used to actually release pretty damn cool vehicles back in the day, and yet now it's become a meme that every Christmas they give you a free garage slot because the tank is garbage.
Yeah, so a friend of ours, Fairman, played World of Tanks like religious fuckingly. Like, the amount of ships I have in World of Warships, like, he had for tanks. Like, he had everything. And he finally switched over to World of Warships, and he joined our clan the other day. And we were talking about it, and he's like, wow, this game's so much more generous. And he started telling me some of the shit that World of Tanks does. And World of Warships doesn't do nearly as many cancerous fucking things that World of Tanks does. Like, it's insane. Like, I have to ask, Gaijin Entertainment is face planting themselves with the whole grind problem and the whole they don't care about their players pretty much. Wargaming used to care about their players, or at least put up a good illusion of that, and now that the mask is starting to slip there, where they're like, man, don't give a shit. There's not really a lot of alternatives for games like that, because these are the only two real games that are predominant, that are big in the market, that do what these games do, as far as like MMO sort of, well, MMO-esque. They have the tag, but it doesn't quite make sense. But sort of like World War II, vehicle games. There's not a lot of these that are on the market, which is kind of a shame.
There isn't. And it is that creeping monetization with ever slightly more predatory transaction methods constantly going. So it literally is boiling the frog, where you can't notice it. It's not one big thing that just happens overnight, like, oh my god, this is horrible. It's incremental over the course of years and years and years. Even World of Warships used to be a lot more generous. Again, than it is today, even though that is still a lot more generous than, say, War Thunder, which the only reason War Thunder is just straight up not a competitor to Wargaming's World of series is because Gaijin has no interest in monetizing their game in a reasonable fashion. The grind is ridiculous, the monetization system is awful, and you get nothing for your bloody money. They are so bad that they make wargaming look good, which is just ugh.
That's tragic.
It's absolutely tragic. It's bloody ridiculous.
Uh,
And there you are. So if you're interested in any of these games, too bad for you, I guess.
I mean, we're still having fun with World of Warships because we're not really engaged with the whole community thing. Well, because we just sort of play it fairly casually. But it's just one of these things where it is bad and it's not going to help the player base. Like, I'm going to say this now. World of Warships is one of those games that I wanted to be successful because it's warships, like big friggin' floaty boats that float in the water that shoot shit at each other and then they sink. Like, that's kind of a novelty in itself in terms of gameplay. There's not a lot of games out there that do that on this scope and scale as far as MMO stuff or multiplayer stuff. I'll use that term instead, which is absolutely tragic in of itself. And I hate the fact that they're pushing more players away, because what they're going to do is they're going to kill their own game by being absolute monkeys about this. They're sitting on a potential cash cow here that they just don't know how to treat well at all. They treat it like crap, and it's sad.
And now, of course, they've managed to alienate their community too, which was their greatest supporters. Ugh. Yeah, it's how it goes, I do suppose. Right, Selby, okay, we have to. We have to talk about this topic as well.
Which one?
OnlyFans.
You were going to segue into that. I knew it. I was waiting for when.
When we're talking about a company screwing itself, we can't not talk about OnlyFans.
It's not entirely gaming related, but it is another example of companies.
It's gaming related, Kyle. Being an e-thought is a game, okay?
Is a game that is the most like
yes.
You're gonna start using the life is a game, and it's my god,
life is a game, a shitty game, nevertheless, but life is definitely a game.
Here we fucking go. The can of worms has been opened.
Yeah, like you cannot talk about a company screwing themselves without bringing this up, because there was a lot of confusion surrounding this as well. Now, many of you little simps, undoubtedly know what OnlyFans is. It is a site where thoughts go to show off their buttholes and be paid for it, which, hey, the more the merrier is all I say. If you can make a living of taking pictures of your asshole, more power to you. I'm not going to ask any questions, frankly. If there's an audience for it, go ahead and satisfy that demand. And OnlyFans has, of course, earned a ridiculous amount of money off this, in the millions. Because it was really the only ones that kind of did this, because Patreon doesn't do this anymore. But we kind of saw it coming, didn't we? Because Patreon was the precursor. Patreon used to be open for anything. The amount of deranged shit you could find on Patreon. I mean, Lion King inflation porn was the tip of the goddamn iceberg. There was some hefty shit on that site, and don't it. Yet, it started disappearing as they introduced more and more and more and more rules, because the big bosses, the payment processors, the PayPals and the banks started coming down on them and being like, hold on there, Skippy. You don't get to have sexualized content on our payment platform, because we're puritanical bastards, don't you know? And that appears to be what is happening with OnlyFans. There was some statement that OnlyFans apparently had put out saying that they weren't going to do it. And it's like, no, we'd totally tell you if we were changing our terms of service. Then they didn't. And they mentioned specifically that they were doing this because of their partners. Oh, I see. Mm-hmm.
We had no choice. Well, you just killed yourself, so goodbye. Now, that didn't mean no sexualized content.
No sexualized content.
But nudity was still okay? Like, I remember
don't-
hearing that. Like, it's a fucking weird thing.
The thing is, it's been really confusing because they, as I mentioned, they said they weren't going to change their terms of service. Like, I saw people contacting their customer support, being like, "Hey, are you going to ban me now? Because I do whoring things." And they're like, "No, we're not going to do that. We would tell you if we were going to do that." And then they did it anyways. So it's just confusion. But right. Here's this, right? So, acceptable use policy 5B, you are not allowed to upload content to on OnlyFans that shows, promotes, advertises, or refers to sexually explicit conduct. So, actual or simulated sexual intercourse, that's not allowed. Genitalia, not allowed. Oral genital, whatever the hell that means,
What?
not allowed. So mouths, I guess, like in blowing a banana. Actual or simulated masturbation, that's not allowed. Any exhibition of the anus or genitals of any person, which is extreme or offensive.
What?
Like,
What does that mean?
part of me can't imagine a butthole not being offensive, whilst at the same time also being like, it's fine. So, yeah, it seems as if anything sexual is not allowed. Now, the way I read this is that, like, swimsuit pictures would still be fine. I guess, like, posing for the camera all sassy like, probably. Eh?
I don't see this working out for them in the long term, but again, does anybody particularly care whether they kill themselves or not?
Well, yes, a lot of e-thoughts care.
Yeah, but like, does anybody with an opinion that matters?
Well, e-thoughts do have some money, don't they?
Yeah, but I'm not seeing any of that.
The problem is, I just don't see who the hell they're gonna replace this with. Because if you go to the OnlyFan like main page, and don't do it, by the way, Kyle, just as a warning, because there's already some explicit shit up there too. But they're trying really hard to be like, oh look, we don't only have e-thoughts, we have this woman who does workout routines in a bra and a tiny set of panties. Like, oh yes, very wholesome OnlyFans. Good, good. Like,
It's
this is what people use OnlyFans for. You know, I'm not on OnlyFans. Music creators aren't on OnlyFans. Podcast people aren't on OnlyFans, despite OnlyFans being like, please come over here. Please, we need something that isn't buttholes.
tragic, really. But it is dumb. It's basically a repeat of the Tumblr debacle.
Yes. And who the hell uses Tumblr now?
Is it even still running? God, do you think they regret their decision? Be like, our money is gone because we're retarded.
Well, on the other hand, it's a thriving market for a competitor, Kyle. How about we set Disco to work on coding a site for us? Only feet.
I think we'll need more than one coder for that.
E-thoughts only? I don't know. Think you need to come up with a good name, and OnlyFans was a pretty good name.
OnlyFans. Was it though? We'll never remember it, and time goes on.
The chat has a good point there as well, and atting Arch will do nothing on this channel since this is not Arch, this is ArchCast, unfortunately, so I won't see it. But I saw this one by accident. This is another case of a company growing off the exotic content and then becoming moral guardians once they reach the critical mass. Yes, probably. Like, that is... It annoys me so bloody much, too, because the left has... And I am blaming this on the modern-day left, mind you, because Patreon, PayPal, all these payment processes, they are wokest bloody entities. And they don't want this kind of shit. They don't want it. It's like, oh, this is objectionable. I don't care. I don't care. 10 years ago, 10, 20 years ago, everything was like, okay, as long as it doesn't harm anyone, do whatever the hell you want on the internet. It's fine. Nobody cares. It's the internet. You're free to do whatever. And it was beautiful. You could upload pictures no matter how horrifying you wanted. And if you found an audience willing to pay for it, cool. Who am I to object? And yet now everyone's a moral arbiter. Everyone's a moral guardian. You can't have pornographic pictures. What about the children? Well, the children subscribing to OnlyFans sites. Right, okay. I hate it. It's another part of the internet that is being sanitized. Like, my God, we did not know how good we had it in like the 90s and the 80s where everything was just crazy and everything was just there. It was just available to anyone. Everything was available to everyone. God. The good days.
It was something.
Neo-Puritanism is here to stay. Yes, chat, I'm afraid it very well might be.
Since when did Puritanism ever end?
Well, we had a brief, beautiful window there for like 5 or 10 years. Like, I hate that too. Like, this should be laughed out of the room. Like, everyone should just be railing against them, and everyone should be making competitors instantly. Like, okay, you don't want to do this, fine. Here's 17 alternatives, and yet then, of course, the payment processor comes in and goes, actually, we're the moral arbiters here. And if you can't process payments, what the hell are you gonna do? I want mail checks. Good luck.
Mm-hmm. Now,
No,
on to actual gaming news.
No, Kyle. This is a game, Kyle.
This isn't a game. This is
a game.
game.
It's the game. Now is super chat time again. Adam Wooford. Woof. So anything new for Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines 2? Game studio on making or continuing on making it, or is it dead in the water? No news. We don't even know if they have a new studio. We don't know if work is progressing. Nothing. It is radio silence from Paradox and their ilk. And I mean, it's still up there. Like, you can find it on Steam right now. Still, I think. I don't think they've taken it down. Let me check real quick. No, there it is. Like, it's still up. You can't pre-order it anymore. Thank God they did that, at least. But no. Nobody knows. Their latest update is the one from the 23rd of February. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months roundabout now. I mean, it didn't look very good. So I hope they just scrap the entire goddamn thing and just start over again, because it didn't look good. It didn't look like it played well. The story wasn't interesting, and almost all of the characters were suffering from good old day modern SJWism. Like, oh, sexy character. Oh, no. Remove that. Make her uglier. The concept art is too pretty. Oh, why? It is dead. Adion, thank you for the best Warhammer lore on YouTube. You are very welcome. And yes, it is the best lore content on YouTube. Juggernaut Demon. Wargaming is really a garbage company. I remember when War Thunder began getting big, there were credible rumors going around that Wargaming were basically trying to bribe YouTubers to switch. Wouldn't surprise me. Genuinely wouldn't surprise me. Like, this isn't the first time Wargaming's been caught in doing some shady goddamn shit. They've been an awful company for a very long time, but, you know, they were also the only game in town for a very long time. And Gaijin managed to kill off any and all momentum they had by making their monetization efforts even worse than Wargaming's, which is impressive. He got Herger. See, I got it right. You didn't need to put it in there. I think Wargaming and GW are sharing the same idiot employees / consultants. Very possible. Just one consultant company and like, here's how you piss off the maximum amount of your fans. Why would you want to do that? PR reasons. Really? No. Shonkatsu, Kibbs complains about ethnos, ethos when he's a VTuber. Good call, Shinkatsu. That's absolutely correct. You shouldn't let him get away with that. It's filthy and disgusting, but what can you do? What can you do? And Chris, do you ever plan to do any more Command Modern Operations content? Probably not. I might do like a couple of videos on it to shill it again in like a year's time because it's an awesome game, but I'm not really doing Let's Plays anymore. I don't have time for it. I have many other things to do. Yes. Things which you might even be able to see in another 6 months. Maybe. Possibly. Maybe. Now, what else have we got for today, Kyle?
Too many things. Real question is, which thing do you want to slide into next?
You brought a topic near and dear to your tiny black heart.
Whoa, it's not black. It's probably a shade of gray. Yes, we'll be talking about Halo Infinite. Why is this popped up in the news again? Because interesting things and developments. So, the company now behind Halo, 343 Industries, the guys who took over after Bungie left, have not had a particularly good run with the franchise, which is tragic because the franchise is actually quite awesome, and the fact that they're just meandering about and producing mediocre products is almost infuriating. But the thing is, what they did with Halo Infinite so far is they've been delaying it. You know, it's having development troubles, the usual. But now they've said that they're not only going to delay it, but it's not going to have the co-op function for the campaign, or the Forge mode, which, for those who don't know, the Forge mode is the level editor that was made popular in Halo 3. They're not going to have that for the new Halo on launch. They said they'll be adding it down the road because they want to focus on the quality of experience at launch. Well, here's the thing, like, in my opinion, like, just delay it. Like, if you're not going to have the core fucking functions of the game in the game to begin with, just goddamn delay it again. Don't fucking do this whole stupid, like, we'll patch it in down the line. Fuck off. Just delay the game. Just delay the game. Like, yeah, people are annoyed that you're delaying the game. Release the multiplayer mode separately, which they did do a PR move, which to try to win something back, but they've done this a while back, is Halo Infinite, it will, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, the multiplayer component for the game is actually going to be launching free with the game, and was always going to be free. The campaign was the only purchasable aspect of that, which is kind of a nice move, in my opinion, assuming they've retracted their policy in Halo 5 with their whole weird loot boxy bullshit, which ruined an actually somewhat passable multiplayer experience. Because Halo 5, as much as the slack it gets, actually managed to do some things actually quite right, especially with the Warzone mode, and the ability to make things kind of just wacky with weapons having weird traits, vehicles having overshields, like a Warthog having the Wraith cannon, which, for those who don't know, is like a tank cannon. It was kind of cute. It's kind of cute, but the whole, like, stupid requisition card thingy was super fucking gay and super fucking lame. But yeah, so that is disappointing. That is not surprising, sadly. But these are the times we live in. These are the times we live in. The good franchises, they have fallen. Not only Halo, but look at the decrepit form of what Gears of War has become. Tragedy has befallen us all, chat. Tragedy.
You know what I find tragic is the fact that I don't have a little buzzer tied to an electrode mounted around your neck that could give you a mild, non-lethal yet harmful shock. As I keep reminding you to not bloody swear.
You've been
Bastard.
doing it all day. Don't lie.
It's some words you need to avoid. The F word is a negative word. Yes.
Fan.
I at least make an effort.
Look at him. He's getting salty.
Filthy. But the thing is, the chat pointed out in Fast Little Fuzzle Puzzle was like, they already delayed it by a year, though. So they've delayed it for a year, assuming Fuzzle Puzzle is correct, which is a vast leap of logic.
Puzzle isn't me, by the way. Just so people are clear. That's Fuzzy Beard.
And yet, They aren't going to have in modding tools. They aren't going to have in map maker, and they're still just concentrating on making the core experience. Now, what you should be reading when you hear that is, our game don't work yet.
We're still having trouble getting it to do what we want it to do. The thing
Yes.
is, I looked at some of the gameplay footage of it, and considering what I found with Halo 5, like, I'm not gonna lie, the story, I'm not even remotely that interested in. After 4 and 5, like, and the books, I used to be really engaged in this universe as well, but it had the massive problem of, let's explain everything. And it's like, don't, you're gonna demystify the universe. And then they did the Forerunner books, and it's like, oh god, the precursors are a thing, turning themselves into dust to become flood by accident. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, I don't need to hear this. This is cringe. Oh, no, we're not going to talk about those.
The bad word buzzard zaps Kyle with 10,000 milligrams.
We're justified. If you read those books, you would be as upset as I was. Like, god, those books are atrocious.
I wouldn't.
You would. You would.
I wouldn't.
I actually really liked the Halo universe.
Myself.
I really liked the Halo universe.
The Halo universe is a dumb universe.
It was really cool, and I think Arch would have probably enjoyed it too had he actually engaged with it. But it, considering where it's gone and where it is, like, you're not missing anything now. So if you didn't get into it back in the day with the Golden Age, you might as well just pretend that era never happened.
I think you're simping for a mediocre product. That's what it sounds like to me.
Halo is mediocre. But I love it. But it's not a particularly great shooter.
Game, Kyle, and it'll be delayed, and you'll not get all of the context, and it probably won't gonna be. It's not going to work, but at least you'll be getting it.
I actually am intending to pick up Halo Infinite because I do like the franchise, and I do like the fact that they actually finally added gunplay. Again, a touch back to mediocrity. The franchise was always released for console FPSs, which is fine for considering what it was. But when they did the porting for the Halos to PC, it really, really shows. And fortunately, there's been some fantastic modders who have redone the campaign and the gun balance to really help the guns have a lot more characteristic to them now that they're actually on PC. And I'm hoping that they're going to take the lessons they learned with the 5th one and actually improve upon gunplay further. Because shooters, gunplay, important. That, like, if gunplay is kind of mediocre, that kind of ruins the feel, Like, the gun's got to be satisfactory. They got to have meaty sounds. The assault rifle should actually hit shit. Oh, God, it misses all the time in every other Halo.
Hope is something you can do on your own time in church, Kyle. It's not going to happen here.
Deadness.
Now, as another little bit of a side note here, a final small topic before wrapping up for today is Call of Duty Vanguard. The Activision logo apparently has disappeared. Ha! Ha! Ha!
It would be kind of interesting to see Activision. Like, this is more of a conspiratorial thing, though.
Or conspire away. So long as it's not about the Voldemort Wired or the Orange Man, that's still allowed on YouTube.
True. Honestly, Activision has done not a lot of good things for a very long time. Like, Activision used to publish for Creative Assembly from the old Total Wars, if I remember right.
Honestly, let me interject right there. Saying that Activision hasn't done a whole lot of good recently is like saying the US withdrawal from Afghanistan was mildly inferior.
That's not gaming related. Bad Barge. Focus.
Every time he uses the F word, I'm going to drag in the Taliban.
See, you're only going to risk your own channel here, okay? I'm trying to look out for your best interest. Oh, that little bastard.
But Activision Blizzard has been an absolute catastrophe from beginning to end. And the only reason why Activision exists is because they happen to copy the Medal of Honor franchise. And for some reason, people like that better than Medal of Honor. And so now we're stuck with them for all eternity. And then they bought Blizzard and they're like, okay, we're going to ruin everything now.
Oh, gosh. Ever since they've acquired Blizzard, it was just straight downhill after that. Oh, it's tragic. It's such a tragedy because Blizzard was like, there was a point in time when I remember seeing the name Blizzard and be like, yeah, that's good. Like, doesn't matter. It's got the Blizzard name in it. It's good. It, at the very least, is fun. That was a standard. That was a standard that was respectable. And now Activision has besmirched that name. They've plundered it and defiled it.
And they've plundered some of their female workers' butt cheeks in the doing of so.
Weren't those accusations, though, or are those actually proven?
Kyle, accusations on the internet are as good as proof.
Yeah, but we're better than everyone else, okay? We literally have a superiority complex now, okay?
You're not. You're inferior. Now, let's just believe women and assume that Activision Blizzard is full of rampant sexual offenders. Ignore the fact that they fired one of the people for this. Ignore the fact that they prosecuted the other person who installed the cameras in the bathroom. Ignore the fact that they have run multiple internal investigations in all of this. Ignore all of that, all right? It's very important that we understand that Activision Blizzard has a frat boy culture and that this is illegal in the state of California. So just kind of don't give them money, or except you need to give them money because they need your money, but they don't need you to support them. And it's really confusing right now, honestly. Yeah, actually, I don't even know what's going on anymore. But Activision Blizzard is on fire, and I think we should all join hands around the bonfire and sing Kumbaya.
That's true. Activision's dead. No, I'm kidding. They're not going to die anytime soon. The Call of Duty franchise is just this money-making machine. I hate it. I hate it. It doesn't matter how much, like, WoW messes up. It's still going to be raped and dragged along because they still have Call of Duty, and it's the real moneymaker of their friggin' shitty company. And that's what I hate the most, because it doesn't matter. Like, okay, WoW makes like 2 pennies a day. They'll still, like, drag its corpse along the ground, because they can, because they have the money to, because COD makes them that much money. I hate it. I hate it. There's no victory there. It's like, yes, WoW died. No, it's still being drug along. There's corpses far behind the train of other corpses. Oh, tragic.
It will not go easily. Right. Let's do some super chats then. Eric, just a question to Arch. How long before we have the technology to have ED209, Ed209, patrolling the streets and turning Murphy into Robocop? Also, how long would it take your company to fix the flaws of ED209? Flaws? Did ED209 have flaws, Kyle?
What is ED209?
Oh, you little...
Is it something that's interesting, or is this another gay piece of technology? Like,
Kyle, you are a disgrace, not only to yourself, but to your family, your friends, everyone around you, frankly. It's the giant walking robot thing from RoboCop that bugs out and murders everyone in the office.
Oh, the movie. Yeah. That was funny. Oh my god, that movie is special, though. I like the scene where he murders all the people in the office.
Yeah, I really don't see that as a flaw. Like, I see that as working as intended. Like,
I couldn't remember
correct.
the Beep Boop's name, but when it fell down the steps, that scene was... I couldn't help but burst out laughing, because I saw that, like, only about a couple months ago, actually, was the first time I saw RoboCop. That was funny. That was quite hilarious. It's like spurging out with his little leg. That's good stuff.
Yeah, I see no problems with its course of actions, frankly. Sujad, have you seen the old Bela Eye cartoon? It's really low energy, effort, and money animation, good voice work, and terrible writing. I did. I have recorded a little video on it that I will be releasing probably tomorrow. It's really goddamn mediocre. Like, it would have been great for a fan animation. If some rando dude had made this in his basement, I'd be like, oh yeah, this is awesome. But for a multi-million-dollar company who has been threatening and browbeating animators into joining them or else for the last few months, nah.
It's funny how the
Nah.
soul disappears. I do appreciate the amount of people that are finally abandoning Warhammer. So many people I've talked to now, they're like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna play it anymore." I'm like, "Good, good, let it die, let it die, let
There
it
are so many
die."
other better weeb franchises for all of you to join. There are many anime waifus out there waiting for you.
You could do
Most of
so
which
much more,
wear
man.
massive armor and weapons. It's kawaii as shit.
Yeah, literally anything. Literally buying garbage cans would be more valuable than spending it on GW's crap.
Possibly.
I mean, according to GW themselves, they only sell you plastic. Like, they're not selling you anything else. They're not selling you a story.
Well, there's a bit more to OnlyFans. A few mods came forward stating that there was some sketchy stuff going on. Money laundry, women forced to do sexual acts by their partners, underage acts, etc. Oh, I'm sure there was. It's a page that you sign up to and upload a video. Nobody's checking this. I'm sure people are fucking their pets there on a daily basis. But the thing is, that doesn't defeat the concept of OnlyFans as a valuable platform for a service being sold, in this case, the eThought service. The fact that some people are violating the rules means you go after those people. It doesn't mean you then wipe the entire site. Like, if somebody's making underage content, here's a brand new approach to this that nobody's ever tried before on the internet. Unfortunately, I'm kind of being serious there. Call the fucking cops. There you go. Done. Finished. Literally, solution to the problem. If you find illegal content on OnlyFans, and I'm saying this to the OnlyFan moderators, mind you, not to just the random people, they are responsible for running their site. Goddamn, deal with it. Ah.
And if you have a problem and you do see something and you're like, "This offends me," why don't you just click on the report button it has? No?
Well, again, that's what the mods should be doing. They should be going through the content and making sure that it's not illegal.
Yes,
Like,
but the
again,
people
if there is
complaining.
actually money laundering and underage content, that is OnlyFans' responsibility.
It is.
Like,
But people who complain about it being a thing are also
oh, yeah,
at
sure.
fault too. Because they have the report button and they choose not to use it.
Yeah, that's true as well. It just annoys me because it's if it is a problem, because Pornhub had the same thing where they found some illegal content and they reported it to Pornhub and like, what are you going to do about it? And Pornhub was like, well, we're going to delete it and report it to the cops. And they were like, shit, we need more. We're going to ask PayPal what they feel about this. And then PayPal deplatformed them. It's like, okay, right.
It's like, oh, yes, mucho. This improves nothing. And it will
This improves nothing.
only make the situation worse in the
Yes.
long run.
It's dumb. It's stupid. Again, if there is shit like that, you yeet it. And that is OnlyFans' bloody responsibility. And if they've been too lazy to do that, then screw 'em. Florian Ice Shutten, we are all just pay pigs for the big publishers. No heart, no nothing for our money, and now a drink for the blinding heart. Prosit. I'm sure that's some kind of Russian thing, which I don't understand. Don Pete XX, OnlyFans there. Greetings, Arch and Kibbs. Have you guys checked the Game of Tales of Iron game trailer? I haven't seen the trailer. I've seen a little bit of the game. It's another Souls-like game, but this one with rats, which is adorable in a way.
Ew. Souls games. Cringe.
Yeah, it's not true. That's fine.
Cringe.
Gummy Bear 21 for 15 Nazi icons. Look at it, Kyle. It is a swastika. Look, it is actually a little swastika.
What do you want from me, Arch? Let's take a... Where did you post this, you giggling little shit?
Here, I'll send it to you. Look at that. It's actually a little swastika.
That's not what... Okay.
It looks like one. I don't know what the hell that means, but I'm assuming it's a currency of some sort, and it's adorable. Take my Merkava money. Are you guys playing Steel Division 2 with mods today? Oh god, is it Israeli? What's the money in Israel?
I don't know why I do the Jurassic Park thing. It could be applicable.
Because you're mentally damaged.
Look, I could be a dinosaur if I wanted to be.
Oh, it might actually be the icon for shekels.
Oh,
Yes, it is. Holy shit, it means shekels. Oh, I love that.
Archer's like, I have collected
20
many.
shekels. I adore the fact that there is a currency that is called
But
shekels,
yes,
and it is Jewish.
Steel Division doesn't have Israel. What is he asking?
Yes, Steel Division 2 with no mods, I'm afraid, because they're too much to learn.
Archer's scared.
Eh. Shunkatsu says, at least the Tali have made us a lot of games. Have they? Have the Talis made us games?
The who?
I mean, I'm sure Taliban will produce a lot of games, like just mini games about it, but still.
I don't think they will.
I think people will make lots of mean games about this.
We need generals too. I agree.
We do. Shunkatsu, Kibbs has a cleaner desktop than mine. Porn where? If you're... See, porn on the desktop. Oh, on the desktop, not on the physical desktop, I say. Well, the porn is obviously in folders, obviously. Why would you have that on the desktop?
Yeah, you put that in somewhere clever.
Yeah.
And then you call it like delete me if I die or something. That way your family knows.
If I die, delete this. And if they click on that, because you know they will, then inside of there's a folder. No, seriously, delete this one. This is the worst shit.
There's like several folders.
Yep, just one after another. Like, please don't go any further.
Turn back now while you still can. I like this.
Turn back now. Abandon all hope, ye who enter here.
That's pretty good. I like that. That one's
see, it makes you want to just go on the internet and download one picture of the vilest shit you can find, just as a trap for someone in the future. Just one last laugh beyond the grave.
Would be funny.
And finally, Juggernaut Demon. That's not the issue. The issue is liability. Even if they call the cops, the people being taken advantage can legally sue the payment providers for making money off their suffering. I don't think they can. Like, I'd very much so... I don't know. There is no proper legal procedures on the internet. That is a huge problem. Liability is not clear. But I would really like to see someone argue in court that the real person that was, like, victimizing them was PayPal. Like, oh, PayPal is the reason why. You're gonna have to make one fuck of an argument to make that fly, I think. Especially since PayPal can also go like, now this is against our terms of service. Like, we try to remove this shit. I don't know. Maybe. It's America. It could probably happen. America. If only the country was burnt to the ground so we could all just surrender to our Chinese overlords. I'll tell you, this shit wouldn't fly in China.
But why?
We'd have more freedoms, Kyle, and a lot less of other freedoms. I, for one, welcome our new Chinese overlords. I am a rare breed of northern snow monkey. I will be kept in a private apartment. Kyle was sent to the fucking mines.
Arch thinks he's funny.
I did think I'm funny. In fact, I'm sure I am. I have proof.
I have proof.
Yep. I have actual observable proof. Now, we shall wrap it up there. Again, Streamlabs are not letting me log on right now. I'll try to remember doing those next time. I give myself about a 25% chance of remembering.
Better than none.
I made a disclaimer. So, thank you all very much for watching. Thank you all for your very generous donations, and I hope to... You little Jewish bastard.
Gummy bear, no! Gummy bear.
Gummy bear, with mods, can have more planes. I mean...
A persuasive argument. We can both play the British decks and watch as our friends unfriend us on Steam and block us. Like, no more games with these guys.
The British aircrafts actually literally don't stop. That is true. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. So, yes. Have a good day. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you all again soon. Tomorrow, specifically, when Kibbs will hopefully have fixed his bloody connection.
Actually, we'll be testing that, so you'll find out.
The server is up right now, Kyle. So
yes. We're going to test that.
Child.
We're going to test that, and you're going to find out an answer tomorrow. Or no, today on the Steel Division stream. Goodbye.
See, now he's trying to be like, oh, watch my stream too.
It's our stream.
I don't know about that. You don't pay me as much as I pay you.
Shut up.
And